All right, guys, this video, this is going to be the very first video of the second semester. And the next couple weeks, we're going to take a look at word problems, very similar to the progress assessment. And the word problems, we're going to set up a linear system. So you can even look at the directions saying we want to set up a system of equations. So what's that mean? We want to get two equations, and there's going to be two variables. And we're going to use x and y as these two variables. Now, this first handout, we're going to keep it real simple, real basic. In fact, most of these problems, it's kind of the same setup. So if we look at this first sentence, it says so we're looking at number 1. It says the sum of two numbers is 36 and their difference is 8. We want to find each of those numbers. Okay, rather than just guess and check, we're going to come up with two equations that have two variables. Now, the two variables, x and y, they're going to be these two numbers, which we don't know. Now, since it says the sum, well, sum implies that we're going to add. So we don't know what those two numbers are, so we're going to put x plus y. Now, when we read this, it says the sum of two numbers is 36. Remember that key word is. When we were first introduced to word problems in the first marking period, whenever we see is, we're going to put equals. So we're going to have equals 36. And then the second part, it says their difference is 8. Again, we have that keyword is, so we're going to have it equal to 8. Difference, that implies subtraction. And we're still dealing with the same two numbers, x and y. So we're going to put x minus y equals 8. That's the hardest part there. So we have two equations and we have two variables. Then we want to solve for it. Now, the easiest thing to do is to use elimination because all the x's are lined up, the y's are lined up, the equals and the constants. And we notice right away, these are already opposites. So if I add these, we're going to eliminate the y right away. So let's do that. We'll put a little plus. All right, so when I add these, when I add x plus x, that gives me 2x. When I add this y plus the negative y, they cancel out. So we eliminate the y. Then we bring down the equals. And then 36 plus this 8 is 44. And then when we solve for the x, we divide by 2. And 2 goes into that 44 22 times. So I have x equals 22. And then if I want to get the other number, remember I can substitute. We've been doing this for the last 2 weeks. I could take this x equals 22, plug it back into this x or to this x and solve for y. I'm going to plug it into this one. So I'm going to change this x to 22. So when I do that, I'm going to have 22 plus this y right here. And then I'm using this first equation, and it equals 36. So then subtract 22 from both sides, and 36 minus 22 is 14. So we get y to equal 14. All right? And we can check it right away. If I look at the two numbers, 22 and 14, if I add them, it gives me this, the 36. If I subtract them, 22 minus 14, that gives me 8. And that's what it said in the original problem. All right, so we're just going to keep it real basic. I wasn't going to do number 2, but you know what? It's pretty much the same exact type of problem, just the numbers are switched. So if it has sum, we use addition. If it says difference, then we use subtraction. And then we used elimination to solve for x and y.